$3.99 and $4.29. So why the difference? Well, we're getting ripped off. We're at the Loves here in Kingstown, Indiana today, and it's a video I've been thinking about doing for a while. It's pretty out here, but why are the prices so high in truck stops? You know, it's getting to the point where it's not gouging anymore. It's just almost absolute theft. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I'm trying to phrase this carefully, because what they're doing is legal. Then again, you know, what Stalin did was legal too. So here in Knightstown, you see it's highlighted, Knightstown. Here's the pump price, whoops, that I'm paying. Come on now. And this is what the average discount is right here. I'm not allowed to show you my discount just because it's a company thing, but it's a little cheaper than the $3.99, but that's also because it's Speedway and they jack their prices up also. I'll explain. I've been noticing that, you know, even down to the fast food that's inside the truck stops here, or travel centers as they call them, because they make all their business in the front door. They really don't care about the back door. But it's becoming more and more apparent. It doesn't matter which chain you go to lately, they all seem to be shrinking their trucking stuff and concentrating more on what's coming in and out the front door. Now I do know this, that prices have increased. Inflation's gone up, the economy is tanking, and we're all paying the brunt for it. I'm not going to get political here, but that's pretty much what happened. Inflation. So I do understand that prices are going up. But this started, I started seeing this trend probably 3 to 4 years ago. And only recently have they really acted like they have the license to really go nuts. Like for instance, fast food, you're going to pay, well, like that Burger King down there, being it's in a truck stop, or the McDonald's at this Loves, you're going to pay probably 50 to 100% more than you would getting a local one, and the selection will be less. They know they have a captive audience here. But there's also another reason, and I'll get to the fuel here in a minute, because the fuel's not I'll explain the fuel here in a bit, but the fuel's not where they make their money. That just brings people in. But the other reason is a whole lot more simple. The majority of these guys, these big companies, these truck stops give them a break and offer fuel at a discounted price. Now, it's really not discounted. They have pretty much raised the price up so that they can knock it back off. And then they charge guys who don't get the discount a lot of money, you know, to fill up here, and they get the RVers that way and whatnot. So pretty much what ends up happening is I end up just paying market price, but I have to sign a contract to get market price rather than just paying at the Speedway or at the sit-go down the street. Now, there's many reasons for that. The loyalty programs and all that, they do come into play here to a point. But part of the thing is that a lot of these guys are company guys. They go where they get the best discounts with the big 3 or 4 fuel vendors. And when they have to buy a headlight or whatever, they're spending the boss's money. It's not their money. They don't care. So this is why they can charge as much as they want for antifreeze, oil, additives and things like that. And what they've started charging has actually starting to get obscene. I went to a Love's, and I've been to the Pilot, and I did a Walmart, and I compared, and basically just the Love's, the TA is the worst offender. The Love's is catching up, the Pilot's hot on its heels, but Walmart's gone up a little with the local economy. But here's some comparisons. It's been a long-held belief that to get the best deal, you have to have a fuel card. I mean, and truthfully, you kind of do, but you have to sign up with one of the big three. And I noticed over the last 5, 6, 7 years, been owner-op for what, 9 years now, I've noticed that the trend of fuel, and when I used to watch it all real carefully, I started noticing that a lot of these smaller independents were just letting me have it at market price, while where they wanted me to fuel, I was getting a discount. They said I was getting a discount, but I noticed that it was I was getting 40 to 50 cents off a gallon, but in a couple cases, it was still cheaper to go across the street to the mom and pop to fill up. So while I'm knocking 100 to 150 bucks a fill, and that actually did happen. I've knocked over $100 off a fill with the discount. I would have had it across the street too. But when you're dealing with a company card, that's what you do. Of course, I can fuel anywhere, but cash is no longer king, and truthfully, if I'm getting the same, I get better fuel. But the fact of the matter is, you're really not getting a discount with your fuel card anymore, not like you used to. I'm still getting a few cents off cheaper than this, but I was in Illinois yesterday, and it was $3.63 here, and across the street it was $4.29, and it didn't make any sense. And well, that's why is the difference? Same fuel, probably the same fuel truck, but it's just they're jacking it up to give it to you back. But it's almost like collusion. But let's go compare some prices, and I'll show you. So this is the Love's, $24.49 for this antifreeze. The Walmart, $18.94 for the same antifreeze. $27.99 for the diesel clean at the Love's. $21.48 at the Walmart. Now I'm going to tell you, I've seen antifreeze at the travel centers of America as high as $34 a gallon. I've seen oil that high. The TA has become criminal. A buddy of mine had to buy 2 gallons. He had to swing into the TA. He spent damn near $70 on 2 gallons of antifreeze because he didn't have a choice. It is getting that bad. The oil's gotten just as bad. So Delvac, $27.99 at the Love's. Their own house brands were $29 and $24. $16.78 for Rotella at the Walmart, and $23.52, which was surprisingly high for this at Walmart. The reason I'm saying that's surprisingly high is until recently it was 17, 18 bucks a gallon, and or 3.78 liters. But even Walmart is still cheaper. That's why I'm coming to a point with this video, and we all know it's higher, but a lot of people don't realize how high it is. Like, for instance, a lot of these big chains have started their own house brand. Love's has Amarillo Supply. That's a Love's deal. I bought a headlight at Walmart, was $9. It was $24.99. Same headlight at Love's. And the prices have been similar across the board at the big chains. Cleaning supplies, they're usually double. Washer fluid, I've seen it as high as $6 a gallon, and but $2.49 a gallon at Walmart. So it's just everything's going up. Showers are going up. It's just across the board. Now, what was odd was I was across the street at the Speedway over there. Now, Speedway is a really big deal. They're owned by 7-Eleven, I believe. And I think they own a couple other chains, too. They're a huge company. And I do know that they did have some partnerships with Pilot and all that. But I was surprised that their prices over there were actually reasonable by comparison. They were a lot lower. But I said earlier that a lot of these places know they have a captive audience. Well, I'll explain that. So, if you get into a truck stop and you look around, you know, if it's a newer truck stop, like the Loves has been going like gangbusters, the new Loves, the new Pilots and all that. Where are they? They're out of town. They're in the middle of nowhere. If there's something on this side of the highway, it doesn't matter how much room's over there, they're going to build it across the highway. They want a captive audience. It's the majority of the truck stops you go to, look around, there's nothing there. You have no other alternative. That's why I'm starting to tell people that in order to watch your spending, you need to start planning a lot better. You know, I carry a lot of stuff in the fridge anymore. It's just, you can't go anywhere. Now, like I said, when a lot of these company guys, like I'm looking at and I'm seeing all these company guys, when they need something, they just take the company credit card when they get fuel, their fuel card, and just buy it. And if your company lets them do that, that's great. But as an owner-operator, that gets pricey. So this is why we carry a lot of used jugs. I can buy oil from the company cheaper. Antifreeze from the company a lot cheaper. Washer fluid cheaper. Believe it or not, I buy my DEF and it's just criminally cheaper. And it's like half, depending on the market and how much it costs. But you know, you kind of start wondering when you start really looking around, you know, this is the way it is, but they're starting to realize they have a captive audience, and as these truck stops get bigger, your choices are getting smaller and smaller. And believe it or not, I bought 2 steer tires through the company, through their Bridgestone account, cheaper than I bought my 2 drive tires from the Loves with the Bridgestone account. The Loves jacked up the mounting and balancing just to an insane level that it literally put me over the top when I had to buy those 2 tires on the road, that my steer tires were cheaper. That's crazy. But this is the world we live in. So, how do you combat it? Well, there's several ways. Now, look, I'm not anti-truck stop or travel plaza. We need these places. This is about all we got left. But what's going to need to happen is people, you know the old saying, people vote with their wallet? Well, we need to start spending, thinking about our wallet. Stop buying things at these places and let them know why. You know, if you want change, you have to be the change, as the old saying goes. We need change. We do need prices to go down. We need things to be affordable. And it's getting to the point where they're not. And, you know, and like I said, I understand the economy. I understand why things are going up. But to double down on it and basically go after your captive audience for everything you can, you know, it puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And yes, a lot of times we still have to buy it. But when you can buy 2 headlights at Walmart, good name brand headlights, for less than you can buy one of their Amarillo Supply headlights, that's a problem. Windshield wiper blades, same way. I've seen them as high as $25 a piece. Same headlights at Walmart, $9 a piece. So, you know, start cooking your own food. Start filling up your fridge. We're out here to make money.
And this is just kind of, I know you guys have all been seeing this, but this is kind of what's being put into perspective right now, is that we all really need to start figuring it out. Prices aren't going to go down as long as we just continue just to say, oh well, and pay. As these monopolies grow and grow, they're going to get to the point where they can charge whatever they want. And truthfully, as my conspiracy mind starts happening, when you start talking about these big chains, it's almost like it's collusion. When one goes up, they all go up. It's like they all agree to raise prices together, and they take the competition out of it, and who pays the brunt of it? Well, we do. And frankly, it's getting old. I hate sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. I want you guys to be successful and keep as much money as you can. I mean, times are getting hard, and it's not just about saving money. It's also about doing more with the money that you have. And sometimes a little bit of pre-planning will do that. Now here's the thing. I'm not trying to slander any of these truck stops. Most of my stuff is just theories, and for the most part, they're just doing what they do. They're convenience stores, and they have the right to set all the prices, but we have the right whether we're going to buy it or not. And I know a lot of people that spend their lives out here on the road start forgetting what things really cost. I talk to a lot of people like, well, there's this guy right here, he's walking across with a case of water. What does a case of water cost in Walmart? You know, $3, $4 tops. I see these guys pay $7, $8, $9, $10 a case. Ridiculous. We've just kind of said, oh hum, and it is what it is. Well, don't you want to save more money? You know, it's like I said, it's about doing more with what you got. I want people to be successful, and like I said, I'm not against these businesses at all. There's a whole new business model out here that's it's disrespectful. It doesn't respect the consumer. It takes advantage of the consumer. But it takes advantage of the consumer out of ignorance. But there's a lot of planning, I believe, that goes into it. Like I said, most of these company guys don't bother looking at prices because, well, it's their boss's card, they need it, they were told to get it. So they pay whatever it is, and it's not coming out of their pocket. And there's a captive audience here, like I said. But truthfully, for the most part, you know, everybody online was complaining that there's no more restaurants, there's no more this or no more that. I'm like, no, there's not. Because the local community was what fueled the restaurants. The truck drivers really didn't. Yes, we ate there, but if you go in there at any time, you know, 60 to 70% of the business is a local community. And truthfully, you can streamline it without a restaurant, which is sad, but because I love restaurants. Just want to cross the street, and I'm going to go have dinner there tonight. I will support that one. But these are, like I've said before, these are turning into more of a regular just 7-Eleven style get in, get out. And if you go into one of these travel centers anymore, look how it's laid out. The trucking stuff is crammed into one corner, and the rest of the store is designed around the front door. It is what it is. So, are we getting ripped off? Yeah, we kind of did it to ourselves, but because we really didn't hold them accountable. But I don't know, how do you get the horse back in the barn? Beats me. Just watch your spending, watch your P's and Q's, and have a plan. Try to save some money. When you can go to Walmart, go to Walmart. When you can go get something cheaper at the Dollar General while you're home, or while you can load up on these things, or your fluids when you're at the terminal. And I know a lot of guys that are going to be like, well, it's my boss's money, I don't care. You need to start caring. You know, he can afford it. Look, I don't get into that line of questioning because, yes, maybe he can afford it. But when his expenses start exceeding his profit margin, he cuts expenses. And when the boss cuts expenses, he starts with you. You guys, we are the first ones to get cut. He's going to make up his profit margin somewhere. He's in business to make money. And the more money the boss saves, yeah, the more money he makes, but at the same time, the safer your jobs are because he's still making money. But when he starts losing, that means you start losing. You know, I'll tell you this before I go. Never criticize your boss and what he spends his money on. If your paychecks aren't bouncing, don't worry about it. But at the same time, respect your employer. Try to save him some money. Try to do a good job. Because it's the right thing to do. You know, you don't have to really like it, and you're probably not going to get any attaboys about it. But at the same time, you know, working efficiently and learning how this works and learning how to save money, if you have plans on being an owner-operator, it starts when you're a company driver. And you learn how to save money and you learn how to streamline it, so when you move in to ownership, it actually, you have a very good idea where your best cost, benefit, and all these other things are. Because I'll tell you right now, when I became an owner-operator, everything I thought I knew was 100% wrong. I had to learn quick. It's part of why I do these videos. I want you guys to be successful when you decide to get out there and start really doing the work. And that's what it comes down to, doing the work. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. You guys be safe out there. We'll see you next video.
Baby, read the fine print. I've got baggage and it's all Gucci. Don't get too attached to me. Everybody act like the answer. One love like in the movies. Wasting precious time assuming. Oh, were we made to fall? And slowly exploring what I need. Cause dozens of times I swear that I knew, and the wisdom was scanty. Doesn't mean I was broken, so open I gave until empty. Got it all back by myself, now nobody can tempt me. If I